If you're new to the Quest 2, I'm going to walk you through what all of these buttons do on the Quest 2 controllers, as well as how to pair them, how to change the batteries, and a lot more. So let's get straight to it. Once you've turned on your headset, you can press any button on your controllers to wake them up. I've never needed to pair a controller to the headset, but if you do need to, you can do this from the app. First select Menu, and then Settings, and then Controllers, and then Pair New Controller. And you can also see the battery status of your controller here as well. When you're in your home environment on the Quest 2, which is here where you see the main Universal Quest 2 menu, you can make the menu appear and disappear by pressing the Oculus button here. This means you can really enjoy your environment and take a look around. When the menu is popped up, you can recenter it by pressing and holding the Oculus button. And this works in a game as well, so you can stand in your favoured position and then recenter the game so that it appears in front of you. You can grab hold of the main menu screen and the shortcut menu and move it around by pointing to one of these lines and holding in the trigger, and then move it to wherever you want to move it. When you're looking at your games and apps on the Universal menu, you can scroll through them by either moving the joystick up and down, or by holding in the trigger and moving the pointer up and down. Select an app by pressing the trigger. Individual games and apps may include their own tutorials on how to use the various buttons on the Quest 2 controllers, but here's a general guide on what the different buttons and hand positions can do on your controllers in some games. We've already talked about the recentering using the Oculus button, but also during a game you can press the Oculus button once to bring up the shortcut menu from your home environment. And this will then allow you to quit the game, pause, or do a screen record. On the side of your controller is your grip button. Pressing the grip button on the side of the controller is for grabbing objects with your virtual hand. The controllers work very intuitively in some games, so to make a fist, you literally make a fist with your hand by grabbing both the side and front triggers and placing your thumb flat onto the controller. This round flat area here is a sensor, so it senses your thumb movement as well as being an area where you can rest your thumb. For a thumbs up, you just release your thumb from the fist position. Put your thumb back down and release the front trigger and keep hold of the side trigger and you have a finger point. Hold the front trigger and bring your thumb across the top of the controller to meet it and you have your OK hand signal. And I'm demonstrating all of these hand signals in the game called Cook Off, which is a really fun game to play, particularly in multiplayer mode. The A, B, X and Y buttons do change from one game to the next, but they can be the teleport button, which is a really handy button to enable you to move from one position to another without any motion sickness. There are some games like In Death Unchained where you have to use the teleport method, and some games you can turn it on or off in the menu. A quick bonus tip here though is if you do suffer from motion sickness, then I highly recommend using teleport whenever possible. In Death Unchained is a classic example of a game where you can only teleport, and I can play it for hours with no motion sickness whatsoever. The Y, X and AB buttons can also be used as action type buttons to crouch or to jump, and you'll usually be guided as to how to use these in each game. And they can also be used as skip buttons, and skip buttons are really handy to skip long storylines that you can't be bothered to listen to. You usually hold it down until the graphic circle completes and then it will skip that part of the story. Also on the left controller you have a round button with 3 lines on, and this is the menu button. This doesn't work on every game, but on some games you can press the menu button and it will bring up a menu button specifically for that game where you can make various changes to the settings. You can take a screenshot photo at any point by holding in the front trigger and the Oculus button at the same time. It's not quite at the same time, so you just have to experiment, but it's those 2 buttons you've got to hold in. So you can capture a funny moment or a new high score and share it with your friends, and these will be stored here in the Universal menu. If you find your joysticks aren't very accurate on your controllers, then you can recalibrate them in the Universal menu. Go to Settings, Experimental Features, and then Recalibrate Thumbsticks, and then you'll be guided through a recalibration process. This feature is currently under experimental features, so may move into the main menu at some point in the future. You can see the battery status of your controllers if you glance down at your controllers whilst inside the headset, and you'll see the battery icon. If you want to know exactly how much battery is left in them, you can click here on the shortcut menu and then see the exact amount in the menu screen in the top left. The batteries do seem to last forever on the Quest 2, and the first time you go to change them, it's not obvious how to do it. To do it, you hold the controller with the large part facing your body and the grip button facing down. Now place one thumb at the top on the edge here and one thumb in the middle, and then you need to push the cover away from your body to slide it off. If you ever want to change your wrist loops as well, you can do that from within here as well. For various reasons, I do highly recommend getting grip controller covers, and these particular ones from Kiwi Design have a quick access battery compartment. And you can find out more about them here if you watch this video next. My name's Rich, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.